Hello, everyone. Um, Question was asked about pesos, these 10% ones. There is literally less than $1 silver in this, even though it is a nearly pretty large coin. I mean, when I take it's quite a bit bigger than a US 50-cent coin. So it's less than $1 of silver in this, but you can't buy them that cheap. Whenever you can find them to buy, that is. This is a 58. All the ones I have here, there's 5 different ones. They're all even year numbers. I'd like to get more of them. Interesting thing about these is around the rim it says Independency Libertad. All right, let's turn this over to this side, just because I kind of prefer seeing the alligator. All right, let's start talking about some of the stuff I bought in the last couple days. I'll have videos for some of this. I bought some of these modern proof coins. Don't mind this price. I wouldn't have paid this much for these. They're neat, but they're not silver. But I've got a few different states. The Minutemen here. And New Hampshire. Indiana. South Carolina. Virginia. North Carolina. Rhode Island with a sailboat on it. And a second Rhode Island. But these were in a bag, all of them, for $4.50. So I got all these for just a little bit more than what the price here is saying they should be, or they were offered at one point. A few people will buy, non-silver proof coins for that kind of price. I know I wouldn't. And I wouldn't suggest you buy them either. Okay, let's go through a couple other things I got this week. Speaking of proof coins, 2000S. I know it's a penny, and it's a zinc copper coated penny. But every now and then I'll buy these just because they're not real expensive, and it's a nice looking example of the, Lincoln penny here. So, 60 cents is probably more than it's really worth. I didn't look them up yet, but I felt like it wasn't a whole lot to pay for it, and I kind of like the way they look. All right. If you're around yesterday, then you saw these two coins on my live stream. I won't spend a whole lot of time other than to say that AU Mercury Dimes, like this one is, they have good mint luster. If I can get the light to hit it good while I'm holding it and looking at it through this loop, is the middle band is worn flat, so there's no line in it. The top and the bottom have lines. That usually happens to them once they get down to AU. Mint state ones should have full bands most of the time, although sometimes they're not struck real well. And that could be part of this one too, because AU's barely got any wear on them. And this doesn't look worn anywhere that I can tell on it. It's just what it is. A Mercury Dime, very common year, and quite a few of these exist. Now, again, if you get a coin and you're going to keep it in the holder and the staples are raised up off the surface, you grab it with a pair of pliers like this and flatten the staple. That way when you throw it in your box of dimes, well, not throw, but stick it in, Uh, Martin, I've only went to the local coin shop, and they have it 2 times a year at the fairgrounds. And then there's 3 different guys I go to around here that sell coins. Um, one of them's a jeweler guy, and he doesn't really sell a lot of coins. He says he just doesn't make very much money on coins, so he doesn't sell a whole lot. But he has picked me out quite a few, including a lot of these. Not this particular one, but one like it. Because this one's a Type 1. He's actually picked me out at least 3 of these out of his bag of quarters and stuff, because I told him for my treasure chest challenge I wanted cheap coins. He sold this for $4, and the melt the other day was 340 or some such, maybe 350. I don't remember the exact number. Silver did take a good sized drop to 1830 or so, but I think it's going to have to go back up. Now, the other guy I buy some premium type coins from because that's his deal. He does some bulk, actually does a lot of bulk, but he usually likes to save his bulk because he gets a call from somebody and say, I want, I don't know, say $200 face of dimes. Start calling around people he knows and try to drum up if he doesn't have it and get that. And then he'll call the guy and says, well, I got your $200 face. You want to come down and get it? And then they usually do. This has most of Liberty on it. It's actually a pretty nice example of these, considering how old it is, and there are a couple scratches and a little divot right there underneath the foot. But that's not too bad for this age of a coin and how much these saw circulation. Because when they changed design to barber coins, again, if your staples stick up, and you can kind of see it on that one, just take pliers and flatten them out. Because I want this to go in my box without scratching any other coin around it. And that'll help prevent it. Now this holder's took a little beating. We'll get rid of a part of the paper. Still has the date on it and stuff. I could replace it, but I'm probably not going to. This one also has a little beat up to it. It's an 1893 Barber quarter, second year of issue. A little bit of dirt and unsightly toning, but pretty good details, especially here on the back where the stars and all the the outlines of the design are pretty bold. But again, I can get the shadow to go right. You can see how the staples are sticking up. I'm going to be doing a lot of this in my live streams. Every time I get coins, or if I pull some out, I should just start doing it. Now, he had a 1916 D Barber quarter that was said very fine plus is what he said the grade was. It had a lot of detail left to it. It was a really nice looking coin, except it was darkly toned. It wasn't, it was kind of dark like this one is. And since this one's worn, some of the toning's been worn off of the design. It doesn't happen to ones that are extra fine plus. They have very little wear, more than AU, but AU's almost no wear. All right, we'll move on. Looks like in this pile of stuff, the last coin to talk about is this one. This is kind of a what-if coin. Look at the front, and if the light hits it good, you can kind of see there's a lot of like straight line scratches on it, like someone took a wire brush to it. Possible. It's what if because if the front resembled the back, this coin's pretty nice on the back. Doesn't look too scratched up or nothing. Rim is starting to go away right here slightly, but it probably put it at good. But with this kind of damage on the front, not. If it was good, the $40 price probably wouldn't be out of line, but 22 for just a half dollar. That's a hole filler basically if you're doing a complete set of these, which is a lot of coins and a lot of expense if you're buying good ones. In fact, I don't even know how long it'd take you to find a complete set of seated Liberty half dollar coins every mint. Just a year set would be tough, or a decade set for that matter. If you wanted to buy all the 1850 coins, it'd be kind of hard because you don't see these a whole lot. I mean, the guy I bought this from usually don't have a lot, but he's got probably about 8 or 10 examples. He made a big buy recently, and he's been selling a lot of coins though, so it's not been any trouble for him to buy a lot and then turn around and sell a lot. The guy that's been doing most of the selling lately, because the owner guy doesn't. He's got other things going on in his life, and he needs to. He can't take as much time as he used to. But the guy that is selling them for him, was telling me that he's been selling even more lately than what Jack was usually. So it's like, how much shortage of silver do you experience at your local shop? Now, this whole year, he's had bulk bags of dimes, bulk bags of halves, bulk bags of dollar coins that he'd sell for a certain price. Like these, there was 5 of these in a bag that I bought at 9 1/4 a piece, about as cheap as I've seen half dollar coins in ages. He had some today that were better than these are. These are pretty bad for $11 a piece, but 9 1/4 a piece is pretty cheap for silver. And these Mexican peso here's he takes a chain that people bring in, like gold chain, and sends it off to the smelter. I don't think he really melts silver coins because he sells them. When he gets time to actually put them in holders and stuff. He said he can find some time. He can get a lot of them put in it. And he keeps telling me he needs to do that because he feels like his trays of silver and coins that he's got on display is not enough coins right now. He has kind of like, I want to say, 5 display cases for jewelry and one that's got mainly coins and some currency in it and stuff. He says he just doesn't make as much on coins as he does jewelry. So it's understandable that he spends more time on the jewelry. Besides, he's a jewelry store anyway, so it's like you kind of want to spend time where you're making most of your money. Why would you spend a lot of time if you're not making very much money? And how much he makes a coin, I really don't know. Some of the ones he does bother to put in the cards are nicer examples sometimes, or key dates, that kind of thing. So, I mean, he's got some half dimes between $30-$40 range, some that might be more. He had some barber hats and other interesting coins, some proofs and other things. But it's just what he does. He just says, I don't really have a lot of time for coins. Now, I was on Instagram with a few friends, AG Stacker, Stacking the South, and they found some of these, not this year, but some of these were listed on some selling place for super high prices. One of them was $399. This isn't even silver, and it's, when I go and look at the Numista coins, they tell you all kinds of different coins and have world facts and a suggested price. None of them are anywhere near that. Even one like this, it's AU, might be 80 cents or something. I bought this in a thing full of these at 20 cents a piece. Not just this coin, there were other ones that were beat up more or even had a hole drilled in it like this one does, plus other coins like halfpenny British coins like this one. This is a pretty nice example of one of these. It's a 64 and it does not have too much wear on it. I'm not sure how I would grade this one because I do see some wear on the ship, so I'd say this might be an extra fine one. But they're not real valuable. I mean, if you can buy them in a box at 20 cents a piece and you just dig through and pick what you want, which is usually what I did. Let's see if I can find that one coin. It should be out here somewhere. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it isn't out here now. But anyway, I mean, this is an old halfpenny with the Britannia design and King George V. So it's pretty old, but it's a 1917. This coin could have been in the trenches during World War One somewhere in some soldier's pocket. So that's where the history of this kind of coin is. You think about where was this coin? Who might have had it? I mean, this is a lot of wear. Yeah, well, Martin, I'll tell you this one time I was looking on SD shops and they had what they call rare dateless buffalo nickels. One guy was trying to sell them at $5 a piece, and I'm sitting there thinking, if out of date, you don't know what year it is, you don't know nothing about it. And even at that, if you did know something about it with the date gone, it is not worth that kind of money. I mean, no way is it worth that much money. But you got to be careful when you're searching around online trying to find coins to buy, because some coin dealers, that sell coins on eBay or other places, don't know everything they need to know about selling their coins. How to take a picture that shows you what you need to know about it, because you can take a coin and turn it to the light one way and get a better looking picture than if you just have it straight on. Straight on, you can see there's wear. You start angling these coins some and get the light to hit it a different way. It just makes it look different. And when you're dealing with Morgan dollars in particular, they're very sneaky about how they picture them. They picture them with the angle and such that you can't tell it's been cleaned or not. Then when you get the coin, you're disappointed. So it's best to pick a seller that has very few or no complaints or bad reviews, and a lot of reviews too. That way it's probably someone who sells a lot of coins. If you go on and it's the first coin a guy's selling, your chances of getting a good coin are a lot lower than what they would be if you went to somebody who's selling. It's got tens of thousands of ratings. Someone who's actually sold a lot of coins on eBay over the years, or over a few years at least. You don't want to pick someone who hasn't, because you don't know. And that is a very important thing in my mind. When you're buying coins from someone, you want someone who knows what they're doing to some point. If you're buying it without being able to see the coin first. Because if you go to a coin shop and guy pulls out coins and shows them to you, you can kind of look them over and decide whether you want to pay as much as they ask for them. And if he hands you a barber and a holder like this one is and wants $30 or $40 for it, I'd probably not buy that coin and maybe not go back to his shop, because this is about good at best on these. So getting them for 9 1/4, which is only a little over melt, cheapest half dollars I've gotten in ages. But went live for a little while, talked about some stuff I bought today, but I am going to show this. I went to this vendor event. There's a big vendor event in the county north of this, but this guy who has a flea market and stuff and sells a bunch of stuff rented out his parking lot to several different vendors to set up and they can sell stuff. This is a Top Gun F-14, and the box doesn't look damaged badly. It's not perfect, but it isn't too bad. And there'll probably be some renewed interest in Top Gun gear since the movies, or not gear, but toys and promo stuff. Since the movie, the new movie was popular, and well, this was a monster hit back in the day. So I thought $3, this isn't too bad of a price. So I asked him about a different jet, and he said he had one, and he was going to bring it tomorrow. So I'm going back up there tomorrow for a little while and see if he actually did bring it, because I want the other jet more than I wanted the F-15, or 14, but I went ahead and bought the F-14 one anyway. Other than that, supply of silver all year long has changed, and even late last year. So what tends to happen when I go to my main coin dealer, he'll either have a lot of dimes and almost no quarters. We have a lot of quarters and almost no dimes, or sometimes he has a lot of half dollars and no quarters or dimes. So it's like, and here lately he's had a lot of Morgan dollars because he bought a big collection. So it's like, what can you do? You buy what's there when it's there. It's like, but he's always got it. I mean, I don't know how he keeps getting it, but he keeps buying it when people want to get out. And I guess enough people want to get out that he can, buy some. Now it could be the other way. They're not getting out, but they had a problem called death, and their kids don't want nothing to do with the silver coins. They just want to sell it because they want the money. Dropped my loop. At least it didn't crack. Hate that when that happens. I thought it was on the edge of the table enough that it wouldn't fall off, but apparently I put it on the edge of the table too much and it went off. Happens. But yeah, I'm gonna put that back up. You are right, rip off. You got to be careful, very careful about what you buy when you buy it. Because I mean, if someone like I know on eBay, you go on eBay. Recently, I was looking at Dateless, deplorable condition, standing liberties, and they were wanting about $8 a piece for them, which they're not worth that much. Plus, you'd have to pay shipping, and they usually sold them in lots of 5 or 8 or whatever, or a single coin. But either way, I got this for $4 from the jewelry guy, so it's like I'm not buying online for that kind of thing. I mean, I bought these online, but I shouldn't have. They were too much, but I wanted them. And sometimes when you want something, you have to pay more than you really want to. But these only have about just under $1 worth of silver in them because they're only 10%. And it's not, I mean, it's less silver than a dime has in it. It's a big coin, but it don't have much silver. But they are neat looking. I'd like to get some that are brilliant uncirculated because they look pretty neat too. This one's, well, a lot of details left on it, but it's, it is circulated some. It's a 64. These stopped in 67. All these are even years, every one of them. 60, 62, 66, 58, 64. At least I did get 5 different dates. But I went live for a little while. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull it down for the night. Hope you all have a good night, and we will probably see you tomorrow.